All right, I have to figure out. I'm trying to figure out a way where you can hear me talk. I think there's a microphone issue, where I play and it sort of compresses the sound, and then it takes for a minute to come back in. But I'll be shouting at the camera. Anyway, this is KASHMIR. A lot of guys asked about. Folks asked about, and there's not a lot to KASHMIR. It's really just boom, thud, boom, thud. There's a delay on the. It's probably that same frickin' Benson delay thingy that they used on When the Levee Breaks. So it essentially is this. You have. But it sounds like. So like. So it is entirely possible. I'm sure now with the equipment they have, you can really go and see if he is doubling notes on the bass drum. But I think it's really just one strike of the bass drum. Because when you see him play it live, little clips you go on YouTube or whatever, and you see him play it, he really is just going boom thud the whole time. If you listen to it at Nebworth and stuff, it's all. But when I play it, when I have played it with the band, I used to play in 2 different Zeppelin tribute bands, which can be very lucrative, by the way. I will double up some of the bass drum notes because we don't have a delay going on or an echo unit or so. That's all it is. But anyway, a lot of guys folks do ask about KASHMIR, so I'm trying to think what they, when he gets to the point where he's like, and obviously as the song progresses, he starts playing a different pattern. So it's really all just boom thud. I do know that when he goes, he's just going. But when you put, there's a delay on that, or it's like a flangery delay, which kind of got popular, I guess, with those guys with Zeppelin back then. So it would bend the signal like he'd put on Moby Dick at that time and stuff. Of course, live when he'd do KASHMIR. You probably wanted to compensate for that effect, because you would see him do stuff like that, and of course I'm sure they had that electronic processing at the shows, where it would make, he'd be like, give it that, it'd be like, it would give it that, double up, and then with the bend of the signal, like the flangery effect, or the phasing, I guess, which is all the same shit, anyway, pardon my French. Anyway, but of course, live he'd do different stuff. Like he'd throw in like. And essentially that's just like, it's going over the top, like. Things like that over the top, and then he was very. I don't have my other cymbal. Let me walk past the camera and get this baby. Yes, I've been looking for you. Let's get a 16-inch Peisty crash cymbal involved. All right. So again, like in a lot of Achilles' Last Stand, I gotta fix this microphone issue. Anyway. He'd be like, which is essentially one hand to two, except it's. So he'd do stuff like that too. And then I got to remember here, like. Just like playing little, you know, it's all, with Bonham, it's all really straight stuff, but it was just like the way he sticked it, you know? It was all like, you know, with him it was always like triplet, you know, like a shuffle feel, like Since I've Been Loving You, like, but then he'd throw a 16th, the non-triplet, you know, 1 E into 2 E into 3, you know. But it would just sound cool, the way his drums were so openly tuned, and he played a certain way, you know, he played behind the beat, and he had a weird, slightly sloppiness to his playing, as I think all great players do. And Jimmy Page on the guitar, he's a great player, but there's a certain sloppiness to him which gives him his character, you know. Anyway, back to Kashmir, before I go off on a infamous tangent. You know, and then there's just that, you know, of course, there's that one little part, I think it's the second verse where they, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, they just add a beat. And I think he's like... He just plays beats over the top. When I used to play it live, I'd be like... There's, you know, I really wish I could, you know, play some of the tune when I do this. You know, I get worried about an Atlantic or Jimmy Page having a butt rash over, you know, using the actual music in the video, because those guys do, you know. But, you know, you just add an extra beat to that little part. And I can always remake this video. I'm going to put this up. I know a lot of folks had asked for Kashmir, so if there's very specific parts, say, all right, well, on the studio recording, it's at, you know, well, God knows it's a long song. It's at like 8:32 or whatever. What's he doing there? Or the Knapworth version, what's he doing there? But it really all is just boom thud. Again, there might be some points where he is doubling it actually, you know, when they're recording at the studio. I don't think so, though. I think it's just the echo unit they're using, or the whatever, you know. But there's a lot of tasty, like, as that part goes on, you know, the ba-da-da-da-da, you know, that type of thing. That's when he obviously goes from the boom thud to more of a, you know... You gotta remember, any recording he made, that's what he was playing at that moment. You know, a lot of guys are like, well, God, you know, I think he wasn't like Neil Peart, where he'd like plan out exactly what he was gonna do. It just happened to show up on the tape, you know. Anyway, so I'm gonna post this for Kashmir, and of course I expect, you know, some of the fellas or some of the people that did have specific questions, you know, we'll just do that. But I just wanted to get this video up. Just, you know, I got to start making these videos again, but it's just been crazy. So anyway, there's the Kashmir video.